Okay, so welcome everybody. It's called a zippy demo, this one, a zip fast demo. So we're going to get in quickly and cook. And as the Thermomix is doing its functions and doing what it does best, I'll share a few tips and tricks about the TM7 that make it stand out from the rest. I've actually got a TM6, or it's hiding over there. I've kept my six, but it doesn't get used as much because it's a lot noisier and I like the modern functions of the TM7. So let's go quickly into the first thing that we're cooking. It's funny that this dish was one of the first things that I ever had in my first Thermomix, the 31, and it's called CADA, C-A-D-A. Does anyone know what that stands for? Okay, so it's all new to you guys. So coconut, apple, date, almond. So if you're wanting a quick, fresh breakfast, this is the way to go. So let's do it. So I've actually put this recipe in my plan for today. So if I go to my week, I'm going to find the two recipes that we're doing in today's lineup. Maybe I didn't save them. All right, that's okay. I thought I did, but what I'm going to do, just to show you something really exciting, if I go onto our recipe platform, which is called Cookie Do, C-A-D-A, CADA, if I press that, it says send it to my TM7. So I just press the button on my phone and suddenly the recipe has turned up. So you may not have known that, but I'm glad I was able to show you that because I can be sitting on the lounge and suddenly my recipe's arrived. And that's another way of just accessing your recipe. So it's 4 ingredient muesli. So I'm going to press start. And so what it says here is to weigh in fresh coconut, or you can use desiccated raw almonds, pitted dates, and apple that's been chopped. Now, back in the day when I made this, we didn't weigh anything. We just threw a handful of each, a handful 4 times. So what I'm going to do is bypass the scales. You'll see the scales being used shortly, but I'm just going to put in, I've got 2 apples and lots of dates. I've just cored the apples, washed them and cored them. I've got some almonds and coconut. So all of those, sorry, you didn't see me put them in, but they've all gone in. That's what it looks like in there. And I'm going to go step next. Now it's going to chop for 1 second on the chopping 2, like this. Sorry, 1 second times 2. That's what it's doing. So let me just, once you get the lid on, you can't do anything without the lid. You get the green arrow, so I'll press that. Okay, did you hear that go twice? So it did 1 second times 2. Okay, now I would not want to do it any more than this. Can you see what I've got there? It's chopped. Actually, I might do one more. So, and that's what you can do because I probably added in more than the recipe asks for. So what I'm going to do is go back. You can go back and press some dots and it says set this as the current step. So I've gone back and I'm doing 1 second and I can adjust that down to 1. So just 1 second. Okay, stop. It's a very simple, intuitive machine to use. So I'll just put this into a bowl so you can see it. It's really tasty for breakfast with some nice fresh Thermomix made yogurt. Did you get to make the yogurt, Joe?
No, not yet.
That's all right.
That looks really yummy though.
Oh, it is. I have to warn you that it's quite addictive. Once you start eating this, you just feel like I want that for breakfast every day. But it's very yummy and it's fresh. And look how much you get. That would feed, 4 to 6 people for brekkie with some yogurt. It's really yummy. So I'll put that aside and I'll put my bowl aside because I'm going to deal with that later. But I've got a second bowl. The advantages of having two bowls with a Thermomix are that it's time saving. You can put one aside while you're getting ready to cook your next dish, which is what I'm doing. So before I start this dish, I just want to show you, if you've seen a previous model, it's good to know that this one here, the bowl, has an outer layer. You pull that little tab to the side, you can take the bowl out, you can take the blade out. So there's none of this pull, trying to get it from below. It comes out very simply and easily. So this is all dishwasher safe. I don't tend to put this in the dishwasher. It hardly needs even washing. You just rinse it and then pop it back in and push the lever back to the other side and it's all locked in again. The advantage of this that's made out of recyclable materials, recycled, is that it's quiet. Sometimes the Thermomix will be cooking and I've had to go like that just to make sure that it's actually cooking because you can't hear it. And the other thing is you can pick it up two hands because this is not hot. So it's a huge improvement having this outer coating. Any questions? No? Okay. So I'm going to go next and finish that recipe off. And then I'm going to go back. And one way to find my next recipe is that I can actually look at it in previously cooked, because we make this quite often, but I was prepping it today. So recently cooked is here. You can see all the things we've been up to. I've made scones. I've made this lemon smoked salmon, lemon pasta, these beautiful meatballs that are made by a chef. You know, when you've sometimes got half a kilo of mince and you think, how can I make meatballs really tasty tonight? There's so many choices here and they guide you through next by next by next the recipe. So that's a really good rotation recipe, this one, because it's really tasty. It's pine nut and currant rissoles. Pizza, ice cream. I made a beautiful Caribbean carrot cake just a couple of days ago. It's gone. I made that for a customer. It's Zablio only. Zabli glow. Who can say that? It's a
I
custard. It starts with Z. Anyone good at saying it?
think it's just Zablioni. You got it right
Thank
the first
you.
time.
It's on there because this lady said, "Oh, if you can make that, I've made it once in my life. It was so much effort." And we found it and we made it within about 7 minutes. So she was really happy. Creamy coconut curry porridge. These are just some of the things: no fail, mashed potato, shrimp in garlic sauce, raspberry crumble bars, brown rice salad. I could keep going and you can see the dates, like some of these dates, there's 3 or 4 things done in a day. So that's how often I'm using this machine. All right, so there's the Chinese style chicken. So the recipe comes up. Sorry, anything? No, if you want a question, please ask me anything. Total time's 25 minutes. It gives you all the ingredients. You get the preparation steps. You get any tips on this recipe. You get nutritional value on every single recipe. You can look and see if it's working for your needs around nutrition. You can add notes and say, I've added extra garlic or I've added extra chili or whatever it might be, and the notes will appear that you've added for each recipe. So this is guided cooking that we're about to do. The whole recipe is set up by the Thermomix. You don't have to turn things and adjust things. It's all set up step by step by step. So I'm going to start the recipe. So we're starting, I think it's gone further because I was prepping and I didn't close it. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Now, the first step is insert this basket. It's called a simmer basket. It's my husband and I at home now. Our son's here with us for a while, but we often just do our veggies for 2 or 3 in here and steam them. So that goes into the Thermomix as said. Then the next step is to weigh 350 grams of rice. Now I've got that here ready to go. So I'll just open up the lid. The scales are on 0 and I'm going to pour in the rice. Look at that, 350 on the dot because I weighed it in the Thermomix. I just pre-weighed that and it's perfect. So the next step is to remove it and rinse. You always rinse rice before you cook it in the Thermomix. So I'm just going to rinse it. You make it wet and you get any of the sort of starches on the outside come away. All right, that's rinsed until the water runs clear. And now it says remove. Oh, no, that's the same step. Place in a litre of water. Now it's sitting on 0, the scales. So this water is going to do a lot of steaming of that rice and steaming of vegetables. So I'm pouring in the water and watching the scales. I know that this jug doesn't quite make a litre, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. We're up to 859. The scales make the Thermomix recipes work every time, especially if you're doing some baking. It's so good to have accurate measure. Now you might see that green light that just went across and you get a ding. You know what? I don't think I put us so you can see it bigger. Oh, can you see me big or little?
Big.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Am I taking your screen?
No, you're taking up about half of the screen when just before.
Oh, okay. I was
Mm.
just going to see if I could spotlight because that makes it bigger and easier for you to see. Are you seeing okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll leave it as that. All right, so then it says to add some salt. So I'll grab my salt. So with salt, I will always mill my salt. I get rock salt and mill it because if you buy salt, you can often, in a tub, you often have anti-caking agents included. That was a spoon of salt, not a pinch. So I'll just put a little bit more in. So we've got salt in the water. Now we're putting the basket back in. So the rice, that's the rinsed out rice, is going back in. The next step is to pop this on top. This is called the Varoma. Now with the TM7, this is 45% bigger, which makes it great because you can fit a lot more things in it. So that sits up here. So we've got water, rice, and the next step is to add in brown onion, carrot, red capsicum, and broccoli. So I've got all of these ready. So these are all nice, fresh ingredients that are all going to get steamed and be perfect. They're not going to be overcooked. They're just going to be really nice for a Chinese dish. So I'm going to, they fit up there nicely. I'll show you what they look like in there. You see all those? Yum.
Nice.
All fresh and they'll be cooked to perfection. So there's a tray that comes with this that's called the Varoma, but we're not going to use that yet. We will shortly. We're just going to put on the lid. And so then we go next and we put the lid on. That's what it said. And then steam. So I've started steaming for 10 minutes. You can hear a little bit of noise because it's really circulating the water as it heats and creating the steam that's going to just cook those nicely. So they're cooking away and 10 minutes of cooking. Now, you'll always want to know what's the next step so you can get things ready. I do. I don't want to be just wondering what do I have to get out next. So you can scroll and it says stir those veggies around with a spatula. So this is a spatula I've just used, but it won't matter. It's got a little bit of coconut with it. That's okay. So you can move it around in the spatula, and the step after that will be pop on the Varoma tray. I just showed you that. So the Varoma tray goes on top of those veggies. But every recipe is worked out so that everything's cooked perfectly. If these were to go in right now, they would be overdone. So when we get to stir around those veggies, these go in then, snow peas, and they will be done to perfection. So I'm going to pop those aside because we're coming back to those shortly. And so we'll just wait for that. But while we're waiting, I'll show you a couple things around the screen. Now, it's counting down, and on my phone, it's also, see up there, it's counting. That recipe is counting down, and I can see that it's being cooked. A few months back, we were in the Netherlands, and we've got 2 grandchildren over there, and I got up in the morning at 6:30 a.m. and I saw that our son was back here. I knew he was here, but he started to make a Buddha bowl, and I saw it come on my phone across the other side of the world. And I rang him and I said, Josh, what are you making a Buddha bowl at 6:30 a.m. for? And he said, Mum, it's 8:30 p.m. here. But you can check on what's going on with your Thermomix on the other side of the world. It's fascinating. Or you can be just sitting on your lounge and think, I'm not getting up right now. It's telling me ding, 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 I need to do something. I'll stop it and I'll get to it when I'm ready. So it's a kind version. It doesn't make you have to attend to it all the time. So, all right, let's get back to the screen. This is like an iPad. It's a 10-inch screen. It can have splashes of oil or water, no problem. It will still work. The TM6 was a bit funny about that. You had to make sure the screen was dry and white, clean and white. This one, you can just, it doesn't matter, you clean up at the end of cooking. Now, there's a little line here. I'm going to touch that line. That opens what they call a control center. There's things there that you can access quickly. So there's the recipe. It's just telling us where it's up to. This here is a timer. Now, I find this useful if I happen to be, at a shopping center or at the Gisborne markets or wherever I might be. I can put in time. I'm saying I'm going to be here for about 5 hours. I do not want the machine to turn itself off. So I will start that timer and that will be going on in the background and the machine doesn't turn off. It turns off after 15 minutes if it's sitting idle. The scales are there. If I want to start weighing something randomly, it won't let me right now, but generally I can get the scales quickly. And also there's our pre-clean cycles. So that's like a control center that tells you what's going on your machine at that time. Now, while you're in the middle of this step, you might be wanting to plan what you're going to be eating next week. So you go out of this screen and you get these 5 symbols on the side. They take you places, really exciting places. One of them's a home screen. You can name yourself. I'm Thermo Queen, but you might want to be whatever you want to be. You've got to be careful with that, though, if you've got a 14-year-old son. My daughter has. Oh, no, he's younger. But he gets on and puts something to surprise his mum when she turns on her machine. Like, good morning. I won't say it, but it'll be something pretty much like the young people do, but it's funny. Okay, now I've programmed my machine to be carb conscious. So I always have a list of recipes that are carb conscious cooking. And that's what I want. And you might have preferences, like you might be gluten intolerant. You might be looking at dairy free or nut free. You can create your profile so the machine, your Thermomix will offer you what sort of recipes are appropriate to your needs. Um, I get trending now. I get everyday recipes for me that are carb conscious. Um, and also you can set up, you can edit your home screen and you can program it to be, I like to be inspired daily, I like to be organized, and I like having all my tools ready, which are your cooking modes. So you can make it to suit your needs. Okay. Mine is I like to be inspired. That's important to me, but I can change it from time to time. So the next one is our recipe platform. Now, we share a platform with the world, everybody in the world. Well, not every country, but a lot of countries have Thermomix now. So uh, you can look at their recipes. Does anyone speak another language?
Yes.
Oh, you
Yes,
speak
that's me,
Italian.
Caroline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What language?
French.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing because you can have another 20,000 recipes. Like we've got about 14,000, which is plenty, but yours would go up to probably about 30,000 because the
Yeah,
Thermomix is
wow.
German and it's been in Europe for like way longer than it's been here, 50 years. So you can access French recipes. Anyone else
Yeah,
think
excellent.
anything else? Any Italian speaking? No. What were you
Only
going to say,
Spanish.
Caroline? Any other languages? No. But anyway, that's awesome because you can filter it to get the other languages as well. But because this machine crosses countries and their traditional cooking. So there's traditional Chinese food, traditional African food, traditional wherever you want food, American. Not sure that we want to have traditional American because all of their recipes are supersized. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But it just Chinese cooking, you name it, you can get their recipes and you can use Google Translate if you seriously want to, make it cook a recipe that's in another language. Also, these days with AI, you can find a recipe and say, oh, I really want to make that in my Thermomix. Put it into AI and say, can you convert this recipe to Thermomix cooking? A second later, you've got the recipe. So it's amazing. It's just incredible how many options you have to cook in your kitchen. So we've gone to Cookie Do. Now, some of the filtering is so good. There's category. You can say, I want to find a soup. You've got 500 soups to choose from, too many. But you can narrow it down and put in, I want this ingredient or that ingredient. So you can say time. I want the recipe on a Wednesday night. It's chaos in our nights, in our week. So I want the recipe to take 30 minutes or less. So you filter that down. Portions. There's only two of us on Wednesday night. All the kids are everywhere else. So I'm going to say two. Or we've got a bunch of people. We can have 8 plus. So you can portion control your filters whenever you want. And this one is particularly good, this filter. How often do you use our fridge? Oh, you can't really see our fridge, but you open your fridge and you see what's in the fridge for dinner. You're not prepped, you haven't got things organized, and that's okay. We're all like that. So you can say, this is what I have got in the fridge. I've got some chicken, I've got broccoli, I've got this. Can you find me a recipe? So exclude tomatoes because we can't have them. Search for tags. So you can go looking with what you have and find a recipe to suit what is ready in your fridge. Okay, can you hear the ding ding? There was just a little chime then telling me the next step's ready. So we've gone searching everywhere and we think, where's our recipe? The control kitchen, control room is where our recipe is. Touch the recipe, go next. This is where we need to stir around our vegetables and add the snow peas. There's our veggies. You can see there's a bit of steam coming off them. So you're just stirring them around. Aren't they beautiful? The colors of vegetables are just so good, especially when they're not overcooked. They maintain their color, their nutrition, flavor, much better than being overcooked. So I'm going to put that back up the top. And the next step says, pop these, they've trimmed, they're washed. They go up the top there. So they're sitting on the top of the other veggies. And then the next step is to pop on the lid again. I love the big size. You can fit 2 chickens in this. It's a big piece of fish, vegetables, steamed. It's so good. Next. Okay, so we're going to steam for another 5 minutes with the lid on speed 4. It's all set. So all you do is press the green arrow and off it goes again for another 5 minutes. So this part of the recipe is just cooking the veggies and making what's in the bowl. Anyone? Rice. Yeah, we've got rice in there and water. So the rice will be cooked after this 5 minutes. So we just put it aside. I'll show you what I'm going to put it in. Hang on a minute. These are our newly designed thermoservers. Who's got a thermoserver? No?
I do, but it's it's the older style with the black
Yes.
tray at the beneath it.
Yes. So this is the new one. It's great. It's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
I know the older ones, they slopped around sometimes if you transport food. This one is secure. It keeps food hot or cold for 3 hours. We really need these now. I've got 2 because our little grandson's been sick. So we've been taking food over for them while my daughter has become a nurse because she needs to look after him quite often at home now. So this is amazing to be able to take food in. So I just undo the side straps, take off the lid, and it's 2.7 litres, so it's much bigger and very handy. So, and these are available through hosting rewards. You can get them free if you decide to have a demo. You can access them. So I'm going to be putting the rice in there and the vegetables in another one. So we've still got 3 minutes. So can you guys tell me a bit about yourselves? Jessica, do you like to cook?
Yeah, I do like to cook.
Yeah.
My hubby does a lot more of the cooking at times, but we'll
Yeah.
make we use a slow cooker a lot.
Yeah.
And then we do a chook on Thursdays and then usually barramundi or something on Wednesdays. So we have but but I like to bake actually, so that's more what I like to do. Yeah, bake sweets and things like that. I've not done bread, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's great to hear that. Like some people have a real lean towards baking and other people, around food, but it sounds like you do an overall coverage between the 2 of you. That's great. Very good. So we're not making any bread today, but if you decided to host at some point, I could show you how well this will make a dough to go into the oven to make bread or make pizza or make anything. And you can also steam, not just oven, you can do steaming of rolls up here. Bao buns. It's amazing. You can make a lot of baking opportunities for the Thermomix. The oven and the Thermomix are best friends, whereas the stove top is a little bit underused when you can use your Thermomix because it's a pot. It can work without the lid now as well. You can do open cooking. So it's pretty awesome. So open cooking, the blade won't be moving. It'll be still and it'll be just simmering. And you can just taste and think, no, it needs a bit more of this or that. It's just like a pot that's cooking something on the stove. Kate, are you there? I just wonder, do you like to cook? Is Kate a cook?
She is.
Yeah.
She just sent me a quick message. She
Just
actually
back.
oh, she's back.
It's
Yeah.
okay. If anyone has to do, I know it's Saturday afternoon, lots of sports and things. If you have to do anything, you
Yeah.
don't have to be here the whole time. It's okay.
And that's okay. But yeah, I do love cooking.
Do you?
Yeah.
If you were to cook, what would you be thinking about? What's important to you?
Well, it used to be speed, not as much now. I do enjoy
Good.
taste. I'm celiac as well, so it has to be gluten-free. So
Ah,
I adapt a lot of recipes.
oh, that's
Mm,
important. Very.
mm.
Yeah. So celiac is a bit different to gluten intolerant, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
But it's all
the
right. I can adapt most recipes.
Yeah, but I think it's actually quite a healthy way to eat sometimes without
Yeah.
having too much wheat and whatever. So you're adapting recipes. You've probably been doing this for a long time,
Mm,
and well done. Yeah. Well, I guess it's a big part of Thermomix for people with intolerances or they can't have certain things because
mm,
whatever goes in it, you know what's going in it.
mm. Yeah,
So
exactly.
you'd never put in anything that you obviously don't want to eat. So,
No.
all right. Now, I know you two a little bit better, so I'm going to ask you in a minute, but this is telling me I need to do something. So let's go next. All right. So set the Varoma. This is the Varoma here. Comes with the Thermomix. So does the spatula. So does this, which turns it into a mixer, and the lid cap. It comes as a complete unit. So it says set them aside. So when you take off the lid, you must be careful of steam. Okay, these veggies are perfect. Let me show you. Okay, there's our snow peas. So I'm going to, oops, lift that up, put those in, straight in to stay warm. That's important. And then the veggies are absolutely delish. So I'm going to put them in on top. Veggies in. And then I'm going to put the lid on to keep them nice and hot because we're going to cook a bit of chicken now that goes on top. So we've finished using the Varoma. That's done. Put that aside. And I usually just wash that up by hand. It's quite easy to wash, or it can go in the dishwasher. So then we'll come forward and see what the next step is. So it says to remove the simmer basket, which is inside. What's in the simmer basket? The
Rice.
Yeah. Now there's a hook on the spatula here that we can hook and lift it out without, oh, I'll just flick so you can see. That lifts it out without having to touch because it's hot. So I'm going to just pop that down. I might actually leave it in there. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it in the other one because I want to show you. I want you to see how well it does rice. I was never great with rice because it used to get gluggy and gluteny and horrible. But this rice is fluffy, white. Well, of course it's white because it's white. Okay, fluffy and not gluggy. Don't know if you can see that well, but look at it. It's perfect. It's just lovely. So that's the rice. Put the lid on, put that aside. It's good having these because people come home at different times and people come up and say, oh, I wonder what's in there. And it's often something delicious. So we'll move you back forward. Now it says the next step is to transfer the rice. We did that. Discard the liquid. You see, I've got a bit of white liquid in there from cooking the rice. I'm going to tip that out. Now I'm not going to bother washing it up because we don't need to. We can get straight in now and do the chicken. But I do like if it's wet and I'm putting something in that needs to be chopped, I put in a bit of paper towel and just dry around it a little bit at the bottom. Okay, so next step is to put some olive oil. I've got that here. Now it's going to weigh the olive oil in. So I'm watching the scales as I go. One thing with the TM7 is you take off the lid and it doesn't go into negative. They've worked that out, which is a really good a really good thing, because you don't want it to suddenly be 300 grams under and you've forgotten to make the scales back to 0. So then it says to pop in, it's 300 grams of chicken. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It had a milkshake in front of it. Whose fridge is organized?
Not mine.
I want mine to be. Sometimes it is. Okay, so that's the chicken I had. I'm not sure, it might be a little bit more or a bit less, but I've just sliced it as per instructions. And it's meant to be 300. Oh, wow. Can't be much closer than that. It's 298, but I don't get the ding because I didn't get to the weight. It becomes a bit satisfying, that ding, after a while. Anyone who's a bit, OCD, it's good when you get the right temperature, the right weight. Okay, so now what it's doing now is sauteing the chicken. It's moving it around the blade at high heat, 160, which is great. Now, for the two of you that have had a TM6, I think you've both got TM6s, it did have the high heat, but the difference with the 7 is that they've given us, they've let us loose with a mode called browning. So you don't have to just go to a recipe to find high heat. So there's high heat that's gentle or intense. This is intense because it's doing protein. It's caramelizing protein. The gentle high heat would be caramelizing onions. But you find that out. Every single mode in the TM7 has a little spot on the side called show tips. And when you go there, you find out why you use the mode, how you use it, what you would do to use this mode. So the TM7 is full of good instruction and support, but you also have me as a support person. For any questions, phone calls, demos, whatever you want, I'm yours. I come with it. Okay, so it's sauteing. It's crackling. Can you hear it?
No.
I'll come a bit closer. Hang on. Did you hear that?
No. Take your word for it, Bev. I don't think it likes us.
You better take my word.
No, it's very quiet.
It is. I can
It's
hear it.
very quiet.
Look, the other day, because our daughter has brought our little grandson home now. He was in hospital for 9 weeks. And he's got quite a lifelong thing, unfortunately. But so I've been doing cooking, and the other day I made a slow cooked beef in this Thermomix, and I made us one in that. And it went for 4 hours because both of them are slow cookers. So the noise coming from this one for 4 hours was driving me nuts because there was nothing coming from this. I couldn't hear anything. So it reminded me why I enjoy a quieter cook. Because that one, pardon me? It's sort of going shh, 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 shh. And you could hear that for 4 hours. So it's much better not to hear that. But I do enjoy hearing the crackling because that's telling me high heat is creating flavor. All right, so that's got a couple minutes to go. If I go forward a little bit, the next step will be to get this out with some tongs and put it on top of the vegetables. And then after that, we're going to make a sauce that goes on top, and then the recipe's done. I'm sorry you won't be able to eat it, but I hope you get to make it. I'm sure you will. So the Thermomix at the moment, we've got, while it's 2 minutes, we've got amazing trade-up options. So people can trade up an old model or they can trade up a piece of equipment, which could be something broken in the garage. I mean, we always used to keep our dud kettles. We'd get a new one and keep the old one just in case it broke. Or we've got equipment outside. So I'm offering some people, if they wanted to not trade, I'll find something for them to trade if they don't have a Thermomix. So it's quite a good deal. These will finish tomorrow night. So yes, so the Thermomix is 2,649 to buy. You can trade up some equipment and take 150 off. At the moment, you can get a second bowl for 149, they're going to be 429 when they're available. So that's a really big price change discount. And you can get extended warranty. But these are all things that if you are interested, I can certainly talk to you, but they do finish tomorrow night. So, but today might be just, what is the Thermomix? Wow, I'll think about it. It might suit me in the future too. So it's not something you have to think about doing unless you're ready for it. Okay, so 7 seconds. And then we're going on to the next step. So I know, sorry for reaching in front of you. I know that I'm going to put the chicken on top of this vegetables. So using tongs, all of this smells really good. So there's our chicken in there, and I can see the base of this bowl has some caramelizing. Oh, I'm looking at that chicken. There's 1 or 2 pieces that I feel could do with another minute's cooking. And that's okay, because I could have put it in there and not sort of mixed it up enough. So what I'm going to do, this is a good thing to show you. You can pop it back in. If you see any of that chicken that doesn't look cooked as well as you'd like it, you go back to that step, press the dots, say set that as current step. I'm definitely not going to go 5 minutes. I'm going to change that down to let's see, down to 1 minute. Put the lid on and do that one more time for 1 minute. Okay. Every now and then, because this is oh, there it goes. It's such a new machine, you might, didn't like me moving it. Hang on. Let me see haven't got the cap on. And that could be it. Let's see. Make sure everything's in order. Let's go back to the recipe. 5 minutes. Mode stopped, can't be paused, requires a restart. So let's try back to 1 minute. Okay, it's happy. So I'm happy. So
Hi, Bev. Sorry, it's Caroline here. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry, but I'm going to have to drop off. I've got to
No.
drive my son to work.
Okay.
But thank you so much. I
No.
really appreciate you showing. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. So I can't wait for mine to arrive.
Yeah,
Very
I know.
excited.
Well, I'll be in touch with you. I'll give you a call a little bit later so we can set
Yep.
up so you get that host reward. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so
I'll talk
much.
to you
Have a
bit later.
wonderful day.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
see you
you.
later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Are you guys still good?
Yeah.
Or you have to go, or are you good?
Okay.
Okay. This will be about probably 7 more minutes, I reckon, maybe 8. So that's just doing that. It's 8 seconds. Now I'm going to take it out this time. I just don't like to see any chicken that's not fully cooked, as you'd be the same. Okay. So back to that step where we use the tongs. Yes, that looks much better. There's nothing not cooked in there. So I'm going to reach in and pop the chicken on top of the veggies. Looks delicious. And it's just similar. It's not really char grilled. It's not brown. But what is brown is the base of the bowl, because we're about to make a really nice sauce that goes on top of it. And the sauce with the caramelizing on the bowl will be very flavored and delicious. All right. So as you can see, I'll put the lid on. I'll move this back around and put the jug back on. So I've done that step. And the next step is scrape any caramelizing from the base of the bowl. Now, where did I put my spatula? Yeah, I've got another one here. Okay. So whenever I've done browning, I like to take the bowl off, get the spatula in and go round the base, just releasing any of the caramelizing on the base of the bowl, which I've done. Put that back on. Now, there's a few things to go in right now. One of them is ginger and garlic. Do you both like ginger garlic? It'd be awful if you didn't like either of those. Okay, ginger and garlic's going in. Now, the next step will be to chop that. So let's go next. So I'm going to chop it. The lid's on. I get the green, hit the green. That's done. So it says then to scrape down the bowl, because when it was chopping, it threw it around the edges of the bowl a bit. Can you see that? It's all chopped up. So I'll just push that down really quickly. And then the next step is to add, so I've got soy sauce, rice wine vinegar. I've pre-weighed these, so I'll chuck them both in. And honey, 80 gram. I haven't weighed out the honey, so I'm going to make sure I've got my scales there on 0. And I'm going to put in 80 grams of honey. I have to be careful because it comes out pretty quickly. 58, 60, 10 to go. Oops. Oh, almost. Whoa. Oh, come on. It's on 79. I'm not going to risk putting any more in. I'll probably go up too many. I don't want it too sweet. Rice wine vinegar. And the last thing, you know, when you're making a sauce, you don't often put everything on top of each other, but now the corn flour goes in. So you can always trust that this has been tested and tried. It looks a bit messy in there. I've got a bit of corn flour on the top of the blade, so I'll make sure I scrape that into the sauce. It looks a bit messy, but within a couple minutes, you'll see how amazing it looks. All right, so next is cook for 2 minutes. So it's cooking. Now, any questions? Have you guys got any? Have you learnt a little bit so far? Oh, you're on mute, Joe. That's
I
it.
learned how to go back a step because I needed a little more time for something the other night with the practice one, and then but I couldn't get back there, and I did know about 3 little dots, so that was great.
Yes, that's good to know that. And you can also go forward to see, oh, we did that.
Yeah, I go forward all the
It's good
time.
to do that. There's shortcuts and tips that, you know, like computers do. I don't know half or even a tenth of what my computer can do with shortcuts because I'm just not that generation. But I know some of these that you wouldn't know yet. So that's why the delivery experience when I come to you or we do it online, because I might be on the other side of the world, I will cover all the things that you may not be aware of yet. So I'll ensure, you know, when you get a Thermomix, you don't want to be missing out on something that might have been great. So, and I'm still learning. You know, if I learn something, I certainly want all my customers to know it too. So that's really important to, you know, get all of those little things, you know, ironed out that you know. Yeah. Kate, have you been a bit, whoa, what's this machine?
No, I've seen Jo use hers, and I've got a couple of friends who have got Thermomixes as well. So I'm definitely aware of them. I just don't have one myself.
Yeah. One day you might.
Maybe one day.
You never know. We've got payment options. People can use Hum or Zip, and it costs about under $20 a week at the moment. So people who, want to do that can do that. All right, so go next. And now this is where we're at the end. So it says to pour the sauce over this. I mean, this looks great. So delicious. And the sauce that looked a little bit messy a minute ago is now a perfect sauce. So if you can see me pouring it on. It's delicious. It smells absolutely amazing. And then you would just mix this around. I mean, this dish is a half hour, takes half an hour. That's pretty much if you've got your ingredients ready. And then on top of that goes, sorry, I didn't have these out ready, some sesame seeds. Sesame seeds and a bit of chopped shallot. Now, if that looks better than anything I've bought takeaway, and it does taste better. So and then top it with the rice as well. And that's a beautiful meal. You can see the rice there. So that's the Chinese style chicken, and just one of hundreds, thousands of recipes that you can make very quickly and simply with your Thermomix 7. So any questions? Have you got any questions that you'd like? Are you curious about anything?
When Trav bought the TM7 last night, Bev, I don't know that he clicked on the thing for the extra bowl and extended warranty, whether that was an option or did that go through automatically?
Yeah, I'll have a look in a minute. I'll just go through and have a look and I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
I
great.
can tell by what the price that he paid. I didn't look at that. So I'll have a look, and if that's the case, we can get that added.
Added on. Yeah, thank you.
They'll give you a call just to fix that up. Yeah.
Okay,
you can't not have that.
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. I didn't want to take too much time with this. And Kate, if you have any questions or you're curious about anything, you want to have a loan machine for a week, where do you live?
In Essendon.
Okay. I don't mind. I've heard of it. We're new to Victoria. We're from New South Wales.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of Essendon, I think, through football.
Yes.
That's about it. I don't know where it is, but
yeah.
What, Jeff? Oh, I get my car service there. That's
there you
another
go.
way I've heard of it.
There you go.
So anyway, if you'd like to have a play with a Thermomix, just let me know. And then you can see if it's something that would work for you. Are you cooking for many people?
No, sort of, it's just my son and I at home and my partner.
Yeah.
And we go between houses. So
Yeah,
my partner and I. So yeah. So it's depending on our hours or if he's traveling also, it's busy.
Yeah. Does your son like to cook? Is he interested?
Yeah, he's a great cook, actually. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How old's he? He'd be
19.
Oh, he would be all over it. He could have dinner ready for when you get home.
Yeah, he's a really good cook. Yeah.
That's good. It's so good. I love men that become cooks. It means their mum's invested time in them when they're little.
Yeah.
And maybe like not
and he's
invested time in the kitchen. I mean, not of course
that's good.
time.
Exactly.
And especially if they can iron, that's another level.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
She's
so
done
young
a good
people
job
these days don't have an iron. Most of them saying, "What's that?"
Yeah, exactly.
All right, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
All right, I'll be in touch, Joe, and I'll have a look at your order.
Great. Thanks.
All right, see you later.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.